host, TDN, the designated bird boy, as the Raven dreams, as the Raven dreams. Hello, and welcome to the DarkNest podcast. I'm your host, TDN, and today I am joined with our fist. I can't speak anymore.
Joined with our fists.
Joined with our designated bird boy.
No.
As the Raven trees. Let me push past it. I'm begging you.
We are joined with our fists.
We are joined with our fists to punch Raven in the face for not letting me push past this.
Anyways.
But yes, today...
Solid start.
We have a multi-talented creator on the show. She's a model, voice actor, narrator, cosplayer, and in her own words, she lifts heavy stuff. You know her as the demon in the new critically acclaimed horror game sweeping through YouTube, The Mortuary's Assistant, and can also catch her diving deep into YouTube's darkest mysteries on the dark side of YouTube and reading creepy stories on the Chilling app. Please welcome to the show, Autumn Ivy.
Can I be the fist?
You... Can I punch the shit out of people? Is that what we're doing? Is that what happens? This is what happens when you come on the podcast. We give you this giant Hulk fist made out of concrete. As long as you can lift it, it's like Thor's hammer. If you can wield it, then you could do stuff with it. So
I am 2 seconds into this podcast, and I feel like this is already devolved, and it's beautiful. Honestly, I'm watching it fall apart in real time.
It would had to have been together to fall apart, though. There's nothing here.
Precisely.
There's no structure at all.
Fair
can't
enough.
say it devolved with TDN at the helm because there is no devolution at that point. It is just baseline bottom.
I know that's supposed to be like poking at my ego here, but I'm taking that
I'm not
full
joking
stride
anymore.
Like I'm taking that full
full
stride. I don't care. Everything I touch turns to shit.
But here's the thing. That's why I let you take the helm because
Well,
it's
let
totally
me.
okay, bro.
Let me.
What?
You taking
I
over?
let you.
So you can just take over.
I mean,
Let me implies that if I just bitch out, you just take it, and that's it. I don't have it anymore. So go
look,
ahead.
take it how you want to take it at this point. It's up to you.
I'll take it.
Okay. See?
All right.
And this has been the 4th episode of this season. And already TDN is trying to seduce me. Let's move forward.
It's still better than Swamp's first episode that he didn't show up for.
That is true. That is true.
Still better.
Ooh.
You're not wrong.
We had Swamp on. This was back when, like, probably like our third or fourth. He was supposed to be like our second or third guest back when
second episode. He was our first guest, second episode.
Yeah, that's what it was. And back when we started, it could have been huge to have him on. It could have, we wanted him because he was our friend, but also because it would have boosted the show. And so we were waiting, and he said I think earlier that morning that he was fine, that he was good to go. And then we're waiting, and 20 minutes in, we still haven't heard from him. We haven't started the stream yet or anything, and we're sitting there, and then I finally get a message saying that he had to drive his girlfriend somewhere and that he wouldn't be on the stream. And there's like 35 people from Swamp Dwellers thing waiting in the chat for him to show up. And then we get on the stream, I changed the title, and we're like, he's not here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey guys, our bad. Hey.
It's just, it would be fine if there wasn't a shit ton of people who were there for him, waiting for him to be there, and then not there anymore. Okay.
Yeah, we looked like the ultimate clickbaiters at that point.
Oh yeah, it looked like we were just doing it for clout.
Yeah.
So we had to have him on for sure at some point to be like, we actually know who he is. We promise we actually know.
I feel like the recovery after that, like you're slowly sinking. It's like what is it? The never-ending story. Like you're just sinking into the bog.
Yeah.
It's never gonna come back.
Every
from
guest we had after that for quite a while just felt kind of awkward when they came on because we were just like, at least you're here.
Thank God, man. At least you showed.
There was like a thing that's set in place afterwards. Like, I never used to message people like, I'll be here 10-15 minutes before so we can do sound check. I do that mostly just so people remember that it's supposed to happen. So I send them a message an hour before we start that we have to be in there 10 to 15 minutes before we start, so that for a sound check. I usually only actually do that just to remind the person that they even have something to do in an hour.
As someone with ADHD, I have to put it as a reminder in my phone, set like at least 3 hours before I have to do it. Otherwise, I completely forget that it exists. If I don't remember what I had for breakfast that same morning, the probability of me remembering that I'm supposed to do something way more important than breakfast is like, it's nil. It's done.
So
I feel that.
I have a question for you, and this is very important
Okay.
for you to answer. Cats or
Okay.
dogs?
I mean, I have both.
Okay. That was very short and sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good. We're good.
All right.
Let's go.
All right.
I thought
okay,
we. I thought this.
That answer wasn't controversial enough.
No, turkeys or ducks.
Ducks, come on now.
ducks.
Are you
They
sure?
taste better.
Yo, listen, turkeys are great yard
Bruh.
birds. Like, they will protect everything in your yard.
I like turkeys.
They don't give a fuck
I only
about
like
your
turkeys
family.
because it's a rarity to see them, and when I do see them, I'm like, oh, gobble, 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 gobble.
You're gonna do that to the wrong fucking turkey, like, and he's gonna turn and look at you and be like, "What are you doing on my block?"
What the fuck did you just say to
Like
me?
in
Like I said
perfect
something
English.
really like I said something really insulting to him in his turkey language.
Fuck you, bro.
I basically just told him I'd fuck his mom in front of him, like straight up, just right there. He just watched he just watched a guy stick his head out the window at 90 miles an hour. It should be like, fuck you and fuck your mom in his turkey gobble language.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's like, oh,
I ain't never gonna recover from this.
I ain't never gonna recover from this.
Oh shit!
He just has a fucking he has a shitty like New York accent, like, what the fuck you just say to me?
What did you say to me? What you talking about? What you talking about my mama for?
Wow.
That devolved again.
That's what I was just about to say.
We're still at baseline.
Perfect. Nothing's changed.
This is what happens when the first question is, what kind of fur baby you like?
I mean, you started it.
For the record, he literally wrote that at the top of his topic list.
The
for
funny
us.
part is it's actually a topic that I wrote down. Yeah.
Oh.
It is, yeah, 100%.
I sent that
That's
to
where
Raven as
he
a-
chose to start the show with that.
Yes.
I mean, there's worse things you could have started it with.
All the important shit is after cats or dogs.
Yes.
All right.
I have a list of things under that, but the first thing it says talking points and quotation marks underneath cats or dogs.
I have like 7 horses, so I feel like horses is the correct answer there.
You have horsies?
I do. I have horsies.
I love horsies.
Giant doggos.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love horses. They're so pretty. They're so nice. Well, some of them.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Unless you give them a reason not to be, and then
Yeah.
that's on
As a
you.
kid, no matter, like, if you're a kid, a horse, most of the time, unless you prove it to them, automatically hates you. Because they're, like, kids, especially horses that are, like, public riding horses, those fuckers hate kids, and I don't blame them. Because...
Some of them. I would disagree only on the grounds that horses commonly like recognize that this is a young human.
Yeah.
So they are more for let me rephrase. A lot of horses are more forgiving of children. It's not that they necessarily dislike kids, it's that how much of your tomfuckery are we willing to deal with and tolerate before we decide that we're done, and then we're just going to go about our business the correct way. But like, I have never, in my lifetime, I have never actively seen a horse act aggressively towards a child unless the child did something to the horse that was like egregious.
I think that's what happened at the horseback place that we went to. I guess just the horses always had issues with kids.
Bro.
It just must be the kids up here are just terrible to horses. I
was gonna say,
love
that's
these
like-
fucking horses. I've been there like
That's
16 times since I moved up here. I always get the same horse when I go. I love this
that's like
horse.
a level of trauma that they can't bypass anymore. Like,
No.
this is it.
They just see any kid and kick it in the face.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck the kid.
So, Mommy, I want to ride the horse. Don't go near the fucking horse.
We've come full circle.
It happened again.
It did happen again.
It happened
It did
again.
happen again.
All right. So first, I got to say congrats on the new show. So excited to have you as part of the Dark Swamp Entertainment. Swamp was talking about this show specifically for a long time. We were working on the Dark Side of Gaming for like 2 years, and he always wanted to branch out. And Hollywood and YouTube were always the two that he was always poking at. And I remember when he was like, I'm going to put out a casting call for the new show. And I don't even know how much time passed, a day. And he listened to yours and was like, holy shit. He's like, I think we have to go with her. Like right now. Like no questions. Nobody else has this except this person. So he was super fucking stoked. He's still like, anytime he talks about the show, he's just like so excited about the fact that he has you as the host of it. Like he goes into depth every time. We can't get him to stop. So is this the first time that you hosted something before, or at least to this degree, like a show like this?
I mean, that's kind of a hard question to answer because, like, this being in a podcast realm is a little different for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Primarily because, like, I mean, I've done other interviews, I've done other small things that have been featured on podcasts and things like that. And then obviously, you know, I do narrations for the Chilling app as well.
Yeah.
But doing narrations that are correlated to something of this magnitude are like, it is a little different for me.
Yeah.
Primarily just because the advertising behind podcasts is different, the way that you deliver things is different. You know, and I kind of had to sit back and be like, okay, like, do I approach this like I normally would, as if I were narrating a story for, you know, like a true crime story for Chilling or for a YouTube series or something? Or, you know, do I kind of just speak as if I am the one, you know, providing this information the same way that you would, such as listening to us talk now?
Yeah.
And it is kind of a different realm of delivery. So basically I came back and I was like, hey, how do you want this delivered? I don't know, man, just do it the way that you talk. And I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. Okay, let's do it. So I guess having different, because of course we have different writers, you know, for the different episodes, the same way that you have a different writer for a TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So integrating the writers, you know, voice and concept and ideas and feelings is also a little different than, you know, just reading a story. Because with a story, you're going after a character and the character's feelings and the way it was written.
And you usually go off of your own interpretation of what the character is like, off of what you get.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, especially with the Dark Side of YouTube in particular here, we're talking about real people who, you know, who did real crimes. And for example, for my true crime stuff for Chilling, I try to keep it very like matter of fact, very like news. Hey, these events happened, you know, kind of like you're reading your essay in front of your senior year English teacher. But like, there's a lot of sarcasm and a lot of like, hey, like these guys did some fucked up shit and we're in a position where we need to notate that, but we can also kind of poke a little bit of fun at that person for being that stupid.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I don't know how to say it. How
do you tackle, because like you have Paige who works on the Dark Side of Gaming as well. And we've had experiences on the Dark Side of Gaming with different writers doing different episodes. And each time I get a script that isn't from Paige, which is because she does the majority of it, I immediately have to like rewire my brain to figure out how it's supposed to be said, because the other writers do it differently. Paige has her own way of writing, and once you get used to that, you're like, oh, I know how to navigate this. I know what she's going for in these points. And then you have another writer who maybe is new or you don't work with as often, and now your autopilot has to completely disengage. How do you navigate like having to do a bunch of different writers for each script?
I feel like for the dark side of YouTube in particular, some of it comes from integrating yourself as well. So I think it is kind of this this concept of, hey, I have my own voice, I have my own emotions, I have my own feelings, and you know, the authentic way to read this, while also managing the feelings and the emotions that the writer provided, you know, in the way that they wrote it. So almost in their self-speech, I guess you could call it, right? So, for example, you know, I just did one of Paige's scripts, and then immediately after Paige's script, I recorded for a script that was written by TJ Lee, and they write completely different, like period, end of story, totally different writer styles. Both are fantastic, but totally different. So for example, with Paige's scripts, a lot of the time it's a lot more sarcasm. It's a lot more like,
she does a lot of sarcasm. She likes the, I don't remember.
I love it.
There was one that I couldn't say without laughing, so I had to ask her if I could take it out.
Right.
It was something scary about a video game, and she was like, "That'll definitely leave a fudge brownie in your boxers," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god!
I tried it 35 times. I counted 35 fucking times. I couldn't say this goddamn line, so I was just like, So I did the thing. I just crossed it out, and I messaged Paige. I'm like, I can't do fudge brownie in the boxers. I can't say that at all without like, I can't say it even trying not to joke or joking. I can't do it. It makes me hurt inside.
I feel like there's a kind of a position of self-editing too. So like, and just to be clear, and I've said this before on other interviews and also with questions people have asked me, I don't actually read the content before I narrate.
Neither do I. I don't do it at all.
Yeah, see, okay, so
and people kind of find me insane for doing that, but
Right?
Yeah, I do. I've been doing it ever since I started narrating, however long ago, and I have a number of reasons for it. Main reason is just that I don't have time, and it bores the shit out of me sometimes, but also it's so that I can feel exactly what the reader will feel as it's happening, and I can inflict that into my voice.
Yeah, that's it exactly. That is my exact reasoning for doing it. Is I like the authenticity and the emotion that comes with having like horrible news delivered to you.
It also makes it so much more fun to find out as it's happening. Like, yes, it inflicts it into the narration, but it also makes you feel it on the inside, which is why we started doing it in the first place. We love these creepy stories. They do something to us. The adrenaline, the euphoria, it happens, and we love that about it. So when you're doing it, and you're doing it as for other people so that they can get their horror fix, and maybe you're getting paid, maybe you're not, but you're also doing it for your own pleasure, and then you add the fact that the whole reason you were doing this whole time is get that scare factor. Now you're doing it in a different way. Like, other people are now feeling exactly what you're feeling at the exact same time that you're feeling it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
God, I love it. I love that feeling. It's the fucking best.
You can't fake that shaky feeling in your voice unless you're actually feeling it. Like, yeah, you can act it out, and people are very good at it. I can fake it too. I've done it before when it just didn't get me in the right way. But there are some stories that are so well written, and they're so detailed in how the character's feeling at that exact moment that you can't help but just like tremble and just say the exact thing. And you could feel it. You could feel the voice coming off the page and just put right into your throat, and you feel it. There's like no other way to explain it. There's never been another creative avenue that I've ever taken that has ever made me feel how that right intensity feels when you find it while reading a story.
I absolutely agree, 100%. And like Accounts from a Lonely Broadcast Station was that way. Several of the stories that I've narrated for Chilling App were that way.
It's so
I
fun.
100% am right there with you.
I've never met another person that just blindly goes into it, though. I do it with
Well,
everything.
hey, you and me, let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Do you?
Yeah, dude.
I don't remember this. I'm sorry.
Literally. Thanks.
I don't remember this.
Aw. Ouch.
Oh, wait. No, I was thinking about another thing.
No.
No. I was thinking about something else. I know what I
There
was
is
thinking
no
about.
recovery in
No,
this
it was
situation.
the audio cutting. The audio cutting is what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I do that the same way as you, but
Yeah. I remember you said that you started off differently. Like, I don't know how you do yours, Autumn, but I live edit. So when I fuck up, I go back and I cut it. And then I continue.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. It
I
is so much easier.
Tried the other way, and I almost quit YouTube. Like, I can't fucking do it.
It is tenfold faster to do it this way. I've tried to tell other people, like, hey, I know it's not easy to get into it, but once you do it, it makes your process just... It takes a full step out of your process. You don't have to listen to your half-hour-long story to do it.
It's so... It turns into second nature. It's subconscious after that. You don't think about it any other way.
No,
so it stops becoming hard.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's I don't know, man. It's just so much easier that way.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the rest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep,
Audio files. Woo.
What?
I don't know. So you do a lot of stuff. Let's just be honest here. You do a lot of shit. You've dabbled in a lot of stuff. Was it always the intention to do all of the things that you've done, or did you just find the longer your career went on, the more stuff you actually discovered you like doing?
I'm neurodivergent and ADHD as fuck.
Oh, so you just always just like, this thing isn't other things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, oh, I started this thing. I'm super passionate. I love it. I fucking hate it. What else am I doing? That or I have to do like 15 of those things all at one time. So, you know.
I completely agree and feel that, to be honest with you.
It is truly a blessing and a curse. Like the ultimate double-edged sword. Because on one hand, like, you get to learn how to do all this really cool shit. But when somebody asks you, like, oh fuck, how'd you learn how to do that? And like you're like busy coding a fucking like, 8-bit game, and they're like, how did you learn how to do that? And you're like, I don't know, man. I literally Googled it, and I brought up a bunch of YouTube videos, and I stayed up for 48 hours, and I learned how to do it, and now I'm passionate about it, but I'm probably gonna stop after tomorrow because I'm bored.
That was me with Photoshop. It went from really being bad at it for a long time, and then like one day I just found that one thing, and it was good, and I'm great at it. Then people are like, okay, so how do you do this? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You do it all the time. You get paid to do these things. You literally make a living off of it. I'm telling you right fucking now, everything I do is subconscious. I don't fucking know.
It is a skill that has to be relearned every single time I open up Photoshop.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't tell you right now how to edit this picture this way without looking exactly at what you're looking at. Same photo, same version of Photoshop. Like, I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It's all subconscious. I do it all because I do my style in my way. All my things are done in my way. So, and there's not a single way to do Photoshop the right way. So me teaching you my way is probably not going to work for you. If I can remember it at all.
Yeah.
I did it my way.
You can't follow up a week later. It's just like, that happened. It was a thing.
The only person I successfully taught is Raven, and that's just a fluke.
Yeah. No, I think it's because you and I kind of operate in the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've tried to teach maybe like 10 or 15 people, and Raven's the only one that stuck. Only one. And I got tired. I'm just like, hey, can you help me figure out this thumbnail thing? No. So I'll pay you. And I'm like, it's not even worth the pay anymore.
Nah.
This stopped being
worthwhile. Because what happens is I teach them, they think they get it, but they don't. And then they go on Twitter being like, TDN taught me, I made this off of TDN's like awesome expertise, and it's just fucking MS Paint. And I'm like, so it's like shitting on me because it looks like I taught them to draw like that. Don't do it.
Did you?
Honestly, if I can remember any of the sessions, probably.
He trains people wrong on purpose.
Yeah.
It's how he keeps
I love the
his
self-sabotage.
I love the hate. I live for the hate.
It's how he keeps getting paid. That's the whole thing. Because
Yeah.
everyone else is like, oh, TDN taught me. Oh, let me see what you can do. That looks like ass.
Yeah. I can produce it, but I cannot reproduce it. There's no way.
I'm proud of you.
Anyway, enough about me. I found something that I always do this with every guest, but you're the only guest that's actually had one. You have an IMDb page, and I find that very cool.
Yeah, it definitely needs some updating, but yes.
Did you I know you had to have written a bunch of stuff in it because I've seen it. There's like personal inflictions in it. But there's like, I don't think we've ever had a guest that actually, like, I look up every time just to see if it helps me. Like, if I see an IMDb page, I can see shit that you've never promoted.
That's true.
In there. So it helps me. Like, I didn't know you were in a game in the DreadX collection. I love the DreadX collection. I love all those games. So that's fucking cool. I would have never known you were part of that. I don't think they put it in the credits of any of the DreadX games, or I don't think it was shouted out anywhere, at least not in recent points. So
I mean, to be fair, so DreadX The Hunt came out, fuck, I don't even remember now.
DreadX collection is like a couple years old at this point.
It was last year in like April.
Okay.
It's been a while.
So were you in the second one?
No, so there was in April of last year there was DreadX The Hunt that came out, and
so it's not the collection, it's like something else.
Well, it is a collection.
Oh.
But The Hunt was a collection of shooter style games that they were doing. Yeah. So it was still a collection, much like the rest of the DreadX collection games are. But this one in particular centered around the devs creating something that was more horror shooters.
Okay.
And the character that this followed was a character named Artemis.
Okay.
And they actually based, if you see the arms, I think you can see the arms at the end of the game when some shit goes down. But the character model of like the arms and stuff are actually like my arms tattooed and shit. So like the character art is me.
That's cool.
It's literally just me. So,
Nice.
but I did the voice acting for Artemis in that game.
If you guys haven't checked out any of the DreadX stuff and you're into like horror games and older style retro PS1 style things,
yeah,
you have to check it out. It's like it's that type of person. It's their like wet dream. It's fucking like 30 hours of just fucking PS1 style horror games. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. And not to mention the devs, the independent devs that put their time and their energy into these games across the board are very talented, super amazing, deserve all of the fucking love and shout out in the world. So like definitely support your indie devs because they seriously do deserve it. And
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of which, huge fucking shout out to, to Darkstone in particular, who was the dev for Mortuary Assistant. A lot of people I don't think realize that game was centered around one singular dev building the game.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so DS absolutely just busted his ass on it. And he had a Patreon that was centered around it as well and still does. So if you guys want to support them as a dev, you totally fucking should. So all of the initial like QA that was done and everything else, like he spent days after release ensuring that there was a nice, clean, smooth game that came with it.
Swamp's calling me out. Swamp's calling me out in the chat.
Oh shit.
He says TDN crying that I missed a podcast when he's missed deadlines hundreds of times makes me feel some type of way.
Oh.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Listen, you're right. I'm wrong. Let's continue. So I haven't actually touched Mortuary's Assistant. I haven't had time to play it yet, but it looks really cool. Is this like a new... I know you've done voices before for other games, but is this like a different type of experience, especially with the fact that like everybody's looking at it right now? Like it's all over YouTube. It's all over TikTok. Everybody's playing it.
It really is. I honestly like it's really nice. huge fucking shout out to, to all the other voice actors that put their time into the game. Of course, obviously, Brian really went above and beyond. But like, I think the biggest thing with having a game pop up and have like everybody's attention on it is like two things. One, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. Like, this is crazy. It's so cool to have been, to been an aspect of the game and like scare the shit out of people and get to say that I got to do that for a living, and in a professional capacity. But on the other hand, that good old imposter syndrome that tells me that I didn't deserve it at all and that I'm actually just a giant piece of shit who's masquerading as a somewhat important human being who isn't talented, to say the least, but likes to pretend that I am to make myself feel better about all of my traumatic insecurities as my childhood dreams were crushed. But
that sounded like a fucking like a skit or like a New Girl or Brooklyn Nine-Nine monologue. Like, what the fuck?
I told you there was a reason my panels are rated 18+.
That went so like, it was just like, oh yeah, she's really, oh my God. She's really proud of her. Holy shit.
Wow, that's a lot of trauma to unpack. Are you okay?
It just, like, I could just imagine, like, if we ever had like cameras for like the podcast, it just slowly like deadpans, like zooms into your face as you're saying it. Like, that's all I imagined, which it slowly zooms in on your face as you're just slowly looking down towards your keyboard.
I was pretty deadpan, so that would have been perfect, actually. Yeah, that's fair.
Just your eyes, you could see your eyes just fog over.
I'd start to completely dissociate.
Yeah,
I'm just gone.
It's like Autumn.
Yeah. Hello, yeah. Are you there? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm here. No. I mean, are we actually
what?
Technically here?
Are we ever here?
Are we ever here? Here is a relative term. Like,
time is truly unimportant.
It's a non-associative.
Don't let the apathy set in. Don't let it set in.
No.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, like, having some of my favorite people, who are large YouTube stars and other things, like having them play the game and getting to watch their reactions genuinely, not just to the hard work that the other voice actors put in, or the hard work that the dev put in, but also just like for myself and my own voice, watching them react to that it's really surreal. Like scaring the piss out of Jacksepticeye.
I was just about to say, like, you somehow just like sit back and realize that multiple times you yourself, with just your voice, has made Jacksepticeye cower in fear multiple times. Like, that's fucking awesome.
Fucking well, and obviously, so specifically for the demon, like the SFX over stuff helps, and like, so some of the demon vocals were combined with another voice actress, which was then put through a filter. So all of us plus the filter had to play in a couple of the scenes. I also play the mother and Valerie, so I actually play 3 characters technically in the mortuary assistant. So the mother that you hear is also mine, and then Valerie, which I don't want to spoil anything for the people who are still working through it or haven't figured it out. There is a character somewhere in the game named Valerie. And when you come across this character, it is very clear that that is also my voice. But the way that it was coached to me to do this character was to have a duality in the tone. And this is one of my favorite characters that I have had the opportunity to voice, because I really like characters that have this, like, I'm doing perfectly okay, just kidding, I'm fucking unhinged. It's my favorite shit ever. That's also why I loved Evelyn so much for Accounts from the Lonely Broadcast Station, is like, she had these moments where she was just like, I fucking give up, I quit, I don't know what the fuck's going on outside, but you know what, I'm gonna go to bed.
I had the same thing with an audiobook I did. The main character was like, he cares so much about everyone around him, but he has this shell on the outside, just like this like 10-foot thick shell of just like, fuck you, I'm a writer. All the time, just constantly. Walks through town, like, doesn't give a shit about another person. But then he's in his hotel room and he's just like, I really shouldn't have said that.
Did I apologize? And then you have to like spend 20 minutes minimum going through and being like, I really should apologize. I'm not gonna apologize. I look like an asshole.
I've done a couple of audiobooks, and this character, it felt like me a little bit. So I just delved so hard into it. And when the book ended, I was just like, I miss him. I miss that character. I miss being that character. He ended up at the end being so brave and cool, and he sacrificed himself. I'm not going to spoil it because I know there's a couple people in the chat who have the book on hand and everything. But it's just I get doing characters and just being like, oh, it just feels so fucking cool to just be so detailed. There's like so much depth to this person. You get to actually be a different person.
Yeah.
Yep. I absolutely agree.
I've never felt anything like that. In any other thing I've ever done, I've never felt a thing where I've just like, I got excited to narrate it. Like I was just like, oh, this is so fucking cool. Fuck all the other dialogue. I also got to do a bunch of country accents in that book, which are not flattering. Except the sheriff. The sheriff was very, very good. His voice was very cool, but I had to voice a lady at the diner. And she was like thick, like country, like mom accent. And it was a lady. And I tried. I really fucking did. Didn't come out great though.
So I have a character called Uncle Biscuits.
Uncle Biscuits.
His name is Uncle Biscuits, and he was born from a conversation. I've had the same friend for like 19 years, which is fucking unheard of, but like he was born from a conversation of that, and like you telling me about the country accents just reminded me of him because Dosick, M. Dosick is my editor. Phenomenal human, amazing at their job. Like they do amazing, just everything. But they hate Uncle Biscuit because one of the things is like he intentionally goes out of his way to be really disgusting. So sometimes I'll lean into the microphone if somebody says something. You smell like the inside of my mama's purse. He fucking hates it.
That's so good though. It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking good. Have you ever narrated something and put a voice to that character and then like stopped for a while, like maybe went back the next day to do more lines and you forgot what you did?
Oh yeah.
I did it with a book, and I had a character at the beginning and he didn't come back till the end and I forgot, and I didn't give him a country accent at the end, but I did in the beginning. I didn't know.
That's an issue. Or not. Okay.
Hello?
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 I think we tanked out there for a second. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was probably the dog. My dog borked, and
I heard the bork. It was just before you said something about your mama's purse.
I mean, would you like to smell like the inside of my mama's purse?
No, I fucking wouldn't. Probably smells like old candy, like old hard candy.
What?
Old
Are
hard
you talking
candy.
on Werther's?
Why do you know what your mom's purse smells like?
Well, not my mom's purse. Your mom's purse.
Are you sure? Because that was real specific.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like an old mom for some reason, like a really old mom. But that's like a grandma thing, isn't it? Well, they have like old hard candy, and they give it to you, and they're like, "Here, sugar, have some candy," and you're like, "Oh, thanks, grandma," and you eat it. And it's like from the 50s, and she never took it out of her purse. She got it back in high school.
But you're literally describing candy corn. You know that they just pull that shit out of the trash cans and fucking recycle it every year, right?
Candy corn's fucking disgusting.
Okay, good. As long as we agree.
I'm just putting that out there. There's no flavor to it. It's just sugar, and it's not even good sugar taste. It's like a different sugar taste.
Yeah, more power to you if you like candy corn. Like I'm not gonna shit on you in particular, but I am gonna shit on candy corn.
Fuck you if you like candy corn. It's gross.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna. You could like these, but if you like these, I don't know how you like these and not not candy corn. If you like those fucking flavorless cookies with the thick ass icing on them, the circle cookies with the neon fucking pink and green icing on top, ew, gross.
Aren't you just better off licking like
sugar
the icing? Yeah.
But the icing tastes like chemicals to me. Like I can't. It doesn't even taste like sugar. It's so chemically made that I can actually taste like the plant it came from. I can taste the conveyor belt. It's so gross.
I'm dissatisfied.
You don't like what I said?
No.
You like them, don't you?
No, I fucking hate them.
Oh.
I can taste them though, and that's somehow infinitely worse.
Like, is there a flavor to them and I just can't taste it?
No.
Oh. Because I know the cookie doesn't really have any flavor. It's just the icing on top.
But does that even have flavor? Do you actually even know what flavor is? Or is flavor just merely... Sorry.
What the fuck? Wait.
No, hang on. Why are we hitting existential levels here now again? Why is this happening?
I was just talking about fucking cookies. What the fuck?
You're welcome.
I didn't know where it was going. Are you sure there's a flavor? Do you even know what the fuck flavor is? Like...
You signed up for this. You're the one who came to me and was like, hey, I'd love it if you were on this podcast. And I was like, okay.
Hey. Okay, no, if we're going to be real here, Swamp was like, hey, you should have Autumn on so we can promote Dark Side of YouTube. And I'm like, fucking awesome. I'd love to have her on. So he put you on here.
So that was a mistake for you both.
Listen. I don't have any comeback.
No, you don't, because you admitted fault.
It's not like I'm not fucking enjoying myself, so I can't say I'm at fault here.
Oh, you're enjoying yourself?
No, I hate it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just laughing because I'm in pain.
Yeah, that's also fair. I do laugh when I'm in pain. Yeah. But in your case, you have a real reason for the pain, so yeah.
Yeah, it has. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna jinx everything.
I was gonna say you better watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, what the fuck you just say? Pain. Here you go. All the pain in the side of your face. But yeah, those cookies suck, and if you don't like those cookies, fuck you. Those fucking things are gross. I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, it's not... It's you know what it is. It's clear plastic and neon cookies. Gross. They make mini ones, too, and they're just as gross.
Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about, dude.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about. Autumn knows what I'm talking about.
She's just going along with it to make you feel better, I promise.
Why is there past TDN day? I don't know. Talking about how I don't like cookies.
Oh no.
And you know what's also fucked up? I've seen candy corn versions of those cookies.
Ew.
So that's like double fuck you.
No, I'm tapped. No.
This is where I stop.
Yeah.
This is where I stop. If it had flavor, fine. I could just be like, oh, maybe it's just not my taste. But there is none. It's just sugar. You're just eating sugar. Anyway. Out of all the things that you've dabbled in or gone full force into, what has been the one thing you've done that gives you the most freedom creatively?
The most creative freedom?
Yeah. Like, what's that one thing that, like, you can, like, stretch your legs every time it happens? Like, every time you do it.
That's actually a lot harder to answer than you would think it is. Because the problem that I run into here is that because I do so much, I also have to consider, like, I am my own business, right? So the problem is everything that I do, I have to consider, like, okay, is this for me or is this for marketing? And like and the reason I say that is, like, one of the things I don't do is, if I don't at least somewhat like a character or have an aspect of them that I somewhat resonate with, I won't cosplay them. I won't do a photo shoot of them.
Okay.
I've been asked more times than I can fucking count. If I had, oh my God, if I had a penny, literally a fucking penny, for every time I have been asked to do Vi, specifically Arcane Vi,
Okay.
I would be a rich motherfucker.
Do you just not like the character?
No, it wasn't even that. Like, I don't mind Vi. I had plans to do Vi quite some time ago when I was playing League. The problem is that I got swamped by people sending me messages and asking me in public on other cosplay posts that I was proud of and being like, yeah, but when are you going to do Vi? And I don't think people understand just how disheartening it is to have something that you put a lot of effort and a lot of love into, only to have them immediately divert it from that specific, content to
like, yeah,
something
this is
else.
cool, but where's the thing I want to see?
No, that's
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's exactly it. Yeah.
That shit fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
Any creative like avenue, it
Absolutely.
happens at least once, and it just that's like the wake up call you have, where you're just like looking back, you take a step back and you're like, okay, there's some people that I'm definitely never gonna please, but like, I really have to like figure out how to maintain that not give a fuck feeling about this, because that just hurt.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly it. So like you literally kind of have to be polite and move on. Like costuming and doing that kind of stuff and like some of the video behind the scenes content and things like that. Like, yeah, creatively I absolutely can stretch my legs in that regard, but at the same time there's always this like, this cloud kind of hanging over of like, all right, so I do something I'm passionate about or that I love, and then I get to watch people shit on it and wonder why I didn't do something, more mainstream or more important or more requested. And I can't. I physically can't do that. Like, I just don't. I don't know. All I ask is that people be cognizant of creators of every style, podcasters, YouTubers, TikTokers, whatever it is that you do. Like, be cognizant that they spent time and energy in making that thing and they were passionate about it. And for someone to come in and be like, yeah, sure, whatever, but like about this other thing, like, no, please just, if they ask you and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this and this, what do you guys think? Like, yeah, absolutely. That opens a platform for conversation, but don't shit on something that they blatantly were like, hey, I put a lot of love into this. And then you'd be like, yeah, but
other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that happen one time, and it really made like it changed my view on just like the stuff I was making, and I really started gearing it towards me. But it was a video I had been trying to do for a while, a bunch of stories that I was trying to put together, and I was like super happy with them, and it took a lot of work with the writers because for like permissions and stuff and trying to get it to happen. And then it finally does, and I'm super proud of it. The audio production was great. I was very proud of all of it. And then I put it out, and this guy who like just started watching my channel was just like, it was something along the lines of, come on, man, like this is not what this is not what you're really good at. You should do the other thing. Which he meant like the series. At the time I was doing like back-to-back parted series, like a video series and stuff of like multi-part stories, and it was doing very well on my channel, and I guess that's where he came from. He saw that, and he was like, what you're good at, like you should probably stick to those things. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm really bored of series, and they're honestly just to make sure that you guys have something to watch and enjoy while I work on the stuff I actually want to do.
Absolutely.
And then I'm doing that, and while I'm doing the other series, I'm working on this video I'm very proud of, and then I put it out, and then that one comment is just like, yeah, this is cool, but like this ain't your style. Like you got to do the other thing. And I'm like, what? It really pissed me off. Like it didn't even just hurt. It like really got me mad. One time, that's all it took for me to be like, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm not even looking at the comments anymore.
Bye-bye.
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 Goodbye.
There goes my last care.
There goes my last fuck. Goodbye. So it's not hard to see, like it's all over Twitter, that you really love fitness. What kind of advice can you give to people who want to get started but either find it overwhelming to figure out in the beginning, or started but just can't keep it up?
Understand that no matter what you do, you are absolutely going to fuck up. You're absolutely going to have days where you want to quit, and you are absolutely going to have moments where you hurt too much and you don't want to get out of bed and it just sucks and you're like, why did I start this in the first place?
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Don't let that be the reason that you quit. Like, the problem is that nothing worth having is easy, and I do actually believe in that statement. I've been doing it for 9, 10 plus years now. I don't even know. I've lost count at this point, but I've been doing it a very long time. And I was over 200 pounds when I started. I was extremely unhealthy in mind and body. You know, my doctor basically was like, hey man, are you good? And I was like, haha, no.
Fucking kill me.
Kind of, yeah. And I was pretty close to yeeting myself out of this mortal coil. And that's the funny haha way of saying it, but I was not good.
Yeah.
So I made a decision, and I basically said I'm gonna find something that I can stick to no matter what, and if it helps, it helps, and if it doesn't, at least I have something else to focus on for a little while. So I did. I started working out, and you know, it wasn't easy. I had to Google stuff. I had to look up YouTube tutorials on form. You know, I started paying a guy a little bit into it who was an online fitness trainer whom I would never, ever, ever recommend to anybody ever again, because I developed an eating disorder based upon his recommendation of the way that he was having me eat.
Oh.
Not smart, and I didn't know that until quite some time later. And I realized that I was punishing myself for literally anything I put in my mouth, and that is never
That's
okay.
what always scared me about it, is because anytime you ever like look into fitness, there's always these like moguls that tell you like you have to cut out everything you've ever fucking loved to get this. And I'm just like, but like eating's cool. It tastes good. Like, I don't want to live without it.
But that's exactly it. You don't eat things you love. Remember that you have the capability, and a lot of it boils down to how much of it you're eating.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you sit down and you're like, fuck man, I really want a pizza. Eat some fucking pizza. Just don't eat the whole fucking pizza and then expect you to lose weight too. Like, it is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to, you know, to have food and to enjoy life and to still work towards being healthy. You know, my problem is that I was faced with the kind of the ultimatum of like, if I don't this, then I'm going to that. And, you know, I picked myself up and I kept going, and I still to this day, I have a lot of mental health issues. I have a lot of things I'm diagnosed with, and, you know, some other things that I have to face down every day. And basically it has become consistency. Everybody always asks me like, how do you stay motivated? And
I saw that video that you posted.
Exactly. So I don't stay motivated. So exactly what I said in that video is the truth. It is about consistency. It's about getting up and making it part of your routine. Give yourself little rewards, make it worth your time. And just remember that if you have a day where you wake up and you look around and you go, fuck this, I'm not doing it. That's okay. Those days are going to happen, but don't just quit.
Yeah. Don't let that day turn into 2 days, turn into weeks, into years. It happens with everything.
And it will. It absolutely will.
Yeah. It's very inspiring. I mean, you look great. You look confident. So I'm happy for you.
I am doing my very fucking best. That is for sure.
Well, it looks like it's going okay. So I hope it keeps going that way for you. I'm trying so bad to get into stuff like that. I tried multiple times, and I always made an excuse, or like, no, it hurts right now. I'm just going to wait a couple of days for my muscles to stop hurting. And then days turn into weeks, into months. And it's been like, oh, I'll start taking walks every morning. And then I do it for a week. And I'm just like, I got up and I'm like, I don't want to walk today. Tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow turns into tomorrow. It's into tomorrow. And it happens every time. I can never find a consistent way to work out or do exercise that sticks. I just never figured it out, and I don't know how. I'm always trying, and I'm always saying it to myself. I'm like, I really got to fucking stop. And then I just wake up and I just do it again.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You wake up, you keep going, except, you know, in that case, it's like, all right, I failed yesterday. I'm not going to do that to myself again.
Yeah. I think it's just I'm so tired. Like, I work so much. And this is an excuse for sure, but like I work so much and I'm so fucking tired. So when I get up, I'm just like, It's either make money or make muscles. I don't know.
But you're going to be tired no matter what you do.
Yeah,
So at the end
that's
of
the thing, is
it's
a huge excuse for sure.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm so tired, and I hate being tired. I don't want to be more tired.
I get it, and it sucks being sore and waking up in pain every day, but I mean, there's a difference between, I'm kind of sore, but I took the steps necessary to be able to be cognizant of my body and my mind and make sure that I'm taking, either like amino acids to try to alleviate that. Am I doing, Epsom salt baths when I get home? Like, what am I doing to pay attention to that and also help myself?
The thing is when I started eating healthy and when I was exercising those little bits, I had more energy than I knew what to do with. Like, it was like I was high almost. It was crazy how much energy you have when you stop eating like shit and when you stop treating your body like shit. Your body almost instantly reacts to it. It's crazy.
It does. 100% it does.
It's like you're taking a drug that just is actually good for you.
Well, and it's been proven that, fitness of any variety, any kind of movement, going and walking the dog. And that's what I tell people. If you don't want to go to the gym, start with walking your dog. Like, do something that, you feel like benefits someone or something else, and putting that kind of a responsibility on yourself to be like, oh, the dog really likes these walks. I should do them more often because, my dog really likes these walks. Like that really does help kind of change the perspective too.
Yeah, walks are like the one thing I am enjoying. And I see the same streets all the time, and it's not the point. It's like it gives me time for my brain to just like stop looking at the same room, looking at the same bed, looking at the same house. All of my problems are in this house. So when I leave the house and I take a walk, it gives my brain time to shed all of those issues and actually look at what my life is and what I'm doing and what I have to do. And it helps me remember things, and I just like take in the world and realize that you're fucking alive. Like, it's hard to remember that you're alive. Like, this sounds weird. It's hard to fucking remember when you're alive when you're not doing anything that people who are typically alive usually do.
Yeah.
When you're alive, you're not really supposed to like sit at home, stare at the computer, and just play video games all the time. When you're alive, you're supposed to fucking be alive. Stand up, let your blood circulate to every part of your body than just the fucking top half. So walking is the one thing that I do all the time. But I really want to start actually like cracking down on this. I gotta get into the headspace. I have to do it. It's so hard.
You do. No, you do it or you don't, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's. I know people are like, it's not that simple. I don't have time. I don't have this. I don't feel good. Like,
no, I know I make excuses every fucking time, and that's the funny part is that I just know afterwards, like, I just made that excuse just so I can go to the movies and fucking watch a movie and pig out. Like, that's it.
No, and everybody does. I made those excuses too when I started. I did. I was on and off for quite some time. I started in 2012. I quit. I started again in 2013. I quit. I started in 2014 and knew that if I didn't keep with it, that I was going to yeet myself off this planet. So.
Well, I think I actually can do it properly now. My issue was I couldn't go to the gym. Like, I genuinely had a reason. I couldn't go to the gym. I had no space in my house. Like, there wasn't anywhere to do it. And walking was the only thing I could do. And that wasn't really, it was helping me, but it wasn't getting me somewhere. Now we moved into a new house. I have a huge room, and now every day I wake up and I look at it and I'm like, this is like perfect workout space. I can totally do this. I think I'm going to start doing it. I was waiting for us to finally get settled in the house for me to start again, but I think this is the one thing I needed to actually get started. So I hope this is what it is. I really do. I've been dying to look in the mirror one day and just not be disgusted. Like, that's all I want. To just be confident in myself, which is what I'm after. And also just to not wake up and like have to use the bathroom every 5 seconds, because that's what you have when you eat like shit. Like, you just always have to be in the bathroom, or you wake up and you don't feel great, or you wake up and you're too tired, or your stomach hurts or something. I want to wake up and just be like, nice day. Just breathe.
I feel that.
Just want to feel like a person for 5 seconds. That's all. I want to feel alive. So, do you have anything you're working on that you could talk about, unless you're under NDA, that you would like to plug or, just talk about that you're excited for?
I mean, anything that I do, I try to keep relatively up to date on my socials. Direct.me/xxautomivxx is the best place to track
Which is in
anything
the
I'm
description,
doing down.
everybody. You got to go check that out.
Yay, thank you. That's probably the best place. Otherwise, I have a couple of audiobooks that I assisted with that hopefully should be coming to air here pretty quick. I will make posts on those as it goes. Otherwise, I primarily spend a lot of my time doing, of course, the dark side of YouTube, which you guys, if you haven't checked it out and you were literally just here
also
to
in the
listen to me
description,
talk,
go check that out.
yeah, go check it out. As well as being a narrator for Chilling App, which is there's a lot of big updates and a lot of amazing things coming to Chilling App, so you guys should definitely check that out when you can. For the most part, though, I have a couple of things that I can't talk about, and a couple of things that kind of just rely on you guys. Like the more that I am able to find things that I'm passionate about and share it with you guys, and the more that you share and support, or even if you're just like, hey, I really like that thing you did, like it keeps me driving forward. So I really appreciate everything that that everybody out there does and continues to do to show support for me and like my crazy weird little hobbies.
It's kind of crazy when you do stuff for fun and then someone notices and you're like, wait a minute, I can get money from this? Like, I can actually do this and live? This is fucking crazy. I can get up out of bed and sit at my computer and enjoy myself, and now I can go get a pizza with that? This is so cool.
It's true.
Like, even the tiniest little commissions are just like, oh, nice. I can get a burrito. It's fucking awesome. I guess that's just how I feel. Like, I'm very food forward, so like anytime I get money, I'm like, oh, awesome, I can eat. Like, I can actually survive.
Well, that's cool. Kind of how I feel, because a lot of my money that I that I'm grateful for, and obviously I make in regards to a lot of these projects, do go towards the animals. I have a couple of rescue animals.
No.
I have kids from shelters. I have a horse that we picked out of out of an auction situation, who never should have been in that situation and would have been dead, within a couple weeks, had he stayed. But like, and he's fucking like, what? I think he's like 34 and still kicking it. So he's doing his best. But
wow.
All of that stuff goes towards taking care of these kids and making sure that they have the care and the love that they need. So.
Very sweet.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
It's scoozy.
That's a spicy meatball. So, I think this is a good place to stop. Thank you for stopping by and devolving with us. It was very fun.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time, for inviting me into your podcast space to chat and hang out. I really do appreciate it. And of course, thank you guys for listening as well. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. And absolutely. Feel free anytime you want to come back. You're more than welcome. Just hit me up and we'll schedule it, because it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, please check out Autumn Ivy at her link below. All of her stuff is in there. Like, there's like 30 links. Just go check it out. There's literally everything she's ever done is in there. Go check it out. Also, go check out The Dark Side of YouTube on Swamped and any podcast platform that you use. The Dark Side of YouTube is currently on. The new episode just came out today, so go check that out. It's very cool. Autumn Ivy does a very good job. Go play the Mortuaries Assistant. I haven't touched it, but I have watched it, and it looks very good. She worked very hard on it. The dev worked very hard on it. Go play that. Go check out her stuff on Chilling App. I almost stumbled, but I didn't. It's okay. Thank you so much for watching the DarkNest podcast. I'm TDN. That is As the Raven Dreams. Thank you, Autumn Ivy. Thank you, Autumn. I fucking hate you. Thank you, Autumn Ivy, for stopping by, and we will see you guys next week at 7 p.m. EST for another episode of the DarkNest podcast. We'll see you guys later.
Enjoy the fist.
Enjoy the fist.